Our real-life hot topic is a former member of Sarah Palin's inner circle who says he has over 50,000 emails that prove she covered up scandals, attacked her enemies, and is obsessed with power, fame, and fortune.
She still had the fire in her belly for a presidential run, but she is raked over the coals in a new book written by a former member of her inner circle that paints her as a vindictive, angry woman who covered up scandal and was driven by fame and fortune. Please welcome the author of Blind Allegiance to Sarah Palin, Frank Bailey. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you.
Most people believe that strong hate begins with strong love, okay?
Yes.
So you liked Sarah Palin. You volunteered for her gubernatorial run in 2005. You then became one of her closest aides. What was it that drew you to her originally?
Elizabeth, I wasn't the only one. I mean, there were amazing volunteers that fought so hard. We believed in the principles that she believed in. Small government, pro-life. I mean, these things that we fought for in that campaign. And Alaska's political future, the political future at that point was dim. It was full of corruption. And we looked at Sarah as that person who could ride in on a horse and actually, breathe life into...
But you did for a while. You enjoyed working with her, obviously.
Absolutely. And we detail in that book. I mean, the book it's bookended by hope. There's hope in the beginning. We talk about, the incredible hope that we had that we could actually change Alaska for the better.
How long were you with her?
4 years.
Okay, so in the beginning you had this hope and
Absolutely.
this affection. But then you now describe, as Elizabeth said, you describe her as vindictive, power-hungry, someone who would use her staff to seek personal vendettas against anyone who spoke bad of her. You say that her marriage was not what people thought it was. Now, is it your hope that in writing this book you will diminish or destroy her chances for running for president?
I don't want to destroy anyone, Barbara. I want people on my side of the aisle to ask tough questions, to do their homework. Hold our leaders accountable to the fire. Ask her to tell the truth. Ask her to be honest. There are details in this book where we literally spell out points where she was flat out dishonest to the media, to the public, even in one case to her very best friend. Okay. There were illegal things that actually took place that she was not truthful about.
Let me just follow this up. Do you think that she's going to run for president? And if so, what kind of a president do you think she'll be?
I don't know. I don't know.
She will run for president.
I believe she is very ambitious, and I believe she is seriously considering it.
Would that be terrible for the country if she won?
I believe it would be a disaster for the country.
Wow.
I do. If I could just finish that point, we need leaders who are going to be strong, principled, and honest. The book in Blind Allegiance, this is the truth. We talk about specific examples about where she's not principled, she's not strong, she could not handle criticism. But you know what? Telling the truth is tough. Sure. It is a hard thing to do. And
it was wrongfully using emails that you're charged with, isn't it?
They're my emails.
Okay,
they're my
They believe that they're actually not yours, though, is what's going on. Just to be clear, because we need to...
But I guess what we're driving at here is, do you have an agenda against her?
I don't. I just want people to hold our leaders accountable.
Well, we agree with that.
Yeah, sure.
We agree with that. She also seemed to have, for instance, I was reading in the book that before she was tapped to be the vice presidential candidate, she really didn't have good words for McCain. And then, of course, we all heard her laudatory comments about him and how great he would be. What's the truth of that?
The truth that I know specifically is she didn't talk real positively about McCain. And I voted with her in the primary, and she didn't vote for McCain. She voted for Huckabee.
Wow. In the book, you were saying, it was very interesting, that whole Katie Couric interview, where Katie Couric asked her, the things that she read, and she couldn't quite come up with an answer. Right. You said that you guys were sitting there watching going, you were reading stuff, but what was it?
What's tough is I think she wanted to play to all crowds there. She is a voracious reader. She reads a lot. She is not a dumb person. She was governor, and she read every single day
Why couldn't she say what
I don't know. We don't know in Alaska why she didn't just say.
You said in your book it was just stuff that was specific to Alaska, that she didn't read, she wasn't familiar with world news, that she really wasn't interested
she's
in
painted
world
as like
events.
an idiot, pretty much, in the
So
press,
she didn't
too.
want to say that she only read stuff that was
She's not
specific
an
to Alaska.
No,
She's not.
Correct.
We don't think
No,
she's
yeah,
stupid.
but she
She's
didn't
more,
say that.
No.
According to you, she's vindictive and paranoid, not stupid.
Right.
So I mean,
She's
those
very
are not
much
traits for a president. Those are not traits.
Let me ask something else.
Sorry.
You talk about her personal life and that she really doesn't have a very good marriage and she really isn't close to Todd. So I saw things that you didn't see. Or you saw things that I didn't see.
Certainly. I found myself at the epicenter of some of the dysfunction in that family. I mean, Todd would be pushing me to do things. Certainly Troopergate was what I am notorious for. And then Sarah would be deny. She didn't want to know any of my deeds. And so, Todd calling us up on her way into town as she commuted in, letting us know her mood. Okay, she's in a bad mood today. This isn't a good day, Frank, to talk to her about such and
That
such.
doesn't mean that it isn't a
That
good
sounds like a
marriage.
husband who knows his wife. That's kind of letting you.
He pushes the Palin brand, and I found myself in the middle of that.
Sure. You write a lot about it. We do want to thank you for coming. We also want to let everybody know that we did try to contact Sarah Palin's attorneys for a comment on Frank's book, but we did not hear back from them. Members of the audience are taking home a copy of Frank's book, and we'll be right back. I know it's a tough thing to do.
Speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters.
We need to start now by electing strong leaders who aren't afraid to shake it up. We need strong, principled leaders, public servants who respect our Constitution.
We need clarity. We deserve answers, so we don't ask the same questions tomorrow.
Good night, Lon.
Perhaps we are not properly educating our youth in the exceptional nature of America. It's worrisome because this belief in American exceptionalism is something that every new generation has got to make its own if we expect our republic and our liberties to be secure and to live on. For America to survive, we have got to pass this on to that next generation, to the young kids who are here, to the students.
This real America, does it exist, John?
Well, in terms of real American and exceptionalism, look, the most basic thing that people can do in support of a democracy is vote. And we take our votes very seriously. The people of Alaska voted for Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin quit. Exceptional people don't quit. And I seriously tell my kids this probably 2 or 3 times a week. It's better to lose than to quit. So she can sit there and she can talk about being exceptional. She can talk about better of America. If she were a better person, she would have stood and fought. She chose to check out and to do it to make money. I've got no problem with making money, but that's what she is. She's a reality
I
star.
have a different observation, though. He hears what's going on. That speech, the first 20 minutes, was every vapid cliche strung together. It was complete, almost nonsense.
She's extra sassy these days, too, because she's winning. All her mama Grizzlies are winning. And they're busting through that glass ceiling. And the mama Grizzlies are going to Washington, and they're going to flip your picnic table, Dave. You know what I noticed on Fox News last night, though, is on Fox News, they address her as Governor Palin, which is like calling me Dairy Queen employee. I was once, but I quit.
That's right.
There is that point there that somehow Sarah Palin forgets. Oh, well.
I'll only bring it up because you guys brought it up. Is Sarah Palin important in this race? Obviously, Joe Miller is her candidate of choice. Do you think
I think it hurts him more than it helps him. I mean, she does have really low numbers, and people that did support her and walked door to door in the snow. I mean, you think it's cold now? You wait a month. People walked door to door for her to get her elected, and she quit. And there's a lot of things you can do in Alaska, but you can't quit. You can't run dogs and quit. You can't row a boat and quit. You won't survive here if you're a quitter. It's an Alaskan value. So even people that are still conservative still they see her as a quitter.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it.
Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women and as politicians, that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?
She's back on this weekend's SNL. Tina Fey returned to her role as frontierswoman / presidential candidate Sarah Palin.
So great to be back on Fox News, a network that both pays me and shows me the questions ahead of time. And I just hope that tonight the lamestream media won't twist my words by repeating them verbatim. As for boning up on experience and policy, I'm planning a trip to the Middle East where I will be filming a cameo in Hangover 3, the third Hangover. The fellas go to a bar and I'm there. I also recently purchased Rosetta Stone English. I want to acknowledge that this week we finally vanquished one of the world's great villains, and I, for one, am thrilled to say good riddance to Katie Couric.
Wow, one of the great send-ups in TV history, I'd say. Next up.
There are several reasons Palin thinks she might have a shot at becoming president. One of them, she doesn't read newspapers. And number two, she does have supporters. In fact, someone is running TV ads in Iowa where the presidential caucus is held supporting her.
Sarah Palin, a new kind of leader. Folksy, straight-talking, and ready to fight for America. Now is her time. Let's make Sarah Palin the Republican candidate for president.